Childhood and Education. Nelson Mandela was born on July 18, 1918, in a small village in South Africa. His father was a local chief and a farmer. Nelson was the youngest of 4 children, and he spent much of his childhood playing with his friends and herding cattle. When Nelson was 7 years old, his father died, and he was sent to live with his uncle, who was the chief of a larger village. Nelson's uncle was a strict disciplinarian and believed in the importance of education. He sent Nelson to a missionary school where he learned English and studied math and science. Nelson was a bright student and enjoyed learning. He was especially interested in history and politics. When he was a teenager, he moved to Johannesburg to attend a boarding school. There, he experienced racial discrimination for the first time. In Johannesburg, Nelson became involved in the anti-apartheid movement. Apartheid was a system of racial segregation that was enforced by the government of South Africa. Nelson saw firsthand the injustice and inequality that apartheid created, and he was determined to do something about it. After finishing school, Nelson went to university to study law. He was one of the few black students in his class, and he often faced discrimination and prejudice. Nevertheless, he continued to work hard and graduated with a degree in law in 1942. Nelson Mandela's childhood and education were instrumental in shaping his beliefs and values. He was raised to be a leader and to fight for justice and equality, and he carried these principles with him throughout his life. Chapter 2. Fighting Apartheid. After finishing university, Nelson Mandela started working as a lawyer in Johannesburg. He quickly became involved in the struggle against apartheid and joined the African National Congress, ANC, a political party that aimed to end apartheid and promote equal rights for all South Africans. In 1948, the National Party came to power in South Africa and introduced new laws that enforced segregation and discrimination against black South Africans. Nelson and the ANC organized protests and boycotts to challenge these laws. In 1960, the government banned the ANC and other anti-apartheid organizations, and Nelson went underground to continue his work. He traveled around the country, organizing protests and advocating for equal rights. In 1962, Nelson was arrested and charged with sabotage and conspiracy to overthrow the government. He was sentenced to life imprisonment and sent to Robben Island, a prison off the coast of Cape Town. Nelson spent 27 years in prison, during which time he became a symbol of resistance against apartheid. His imprisonment sparked international condemnation of South Africa's racist policies, and many countries imposed economic sanctions on South Africa. In 1990, after years of pressure from the international community and growing unrest in South Africa, the government finally released Nelson Mandela from prison. He immediately resumed his work to end apartheid and promote reconciliation between black and white South Africans. In 1994, South Africa held its first democratic elections, and Nelson Mandela was elected as the country's first black president. He served as president from 1994 to 1999, during which time he worked to heal the wounds of apartheid and promote reconciliation between the country's different racial groups. Chapter 3. Legacy. Nelson Mandela's legacy is one of courage, determination, and reconciliation. He worked tirelessly to promote equal rights and justice for all South Africans, regardless of their race or ethnicity. Nelson's commitment to ending apartheid and promoting reconciliation was demonstrated throughout his life. He sought to build bridges between different racial groups in South Africa and believed that forgiveness and understanding were essential for creating a peaceful and just society. Nelson's efforts to end apartheid and promote reconciliation earned him international acclaim and recognition. He received numerous awards and honors, including the Nobel Peace Prize in 1993. Even after leaving office, Nelson continued to be an advocate for social justice and human rights. He founded the Nelson Mandela Foundation, which promotes the principles of democracy, equality, and freedom in South Africa and around the world. Nelson's legacy continues to inspire people around the world to fight for justice and equality. He is remembered as a hero and a symbol of hope, and his legacy serves as a reminder that change is possible, even in the face of great adversity. Chapter 4: Impact on South Africa and the World. Nelson Mandela's impact on South Africa and the world is immeasurable. His leadership, courage, and dedication to social justice and human rights inspired a generation of activists and advocates, and his legacy continues to influence people around the world today. In South Africa, Nelson's leadership and advocacy were instrumental in ending apartheid and promoting reconciliation between different racial groups. He worked tirelessly to dismantle the racist policies of the apartheid regime and to promote democracy and equal rights for all South Africans. Nelson's efforts were successful, and in 1994 South Africa held its first democratic elections. Nelson was elected as the country's first black president, and he served in this role from 1994 to 1999. During his presidency, Nelson worked to heal the wounds of apartheid and to promote reconciliation between black and white South Africans. He established the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, which was tasked with investigating human rights violations that occurred during the apartheid era. The commission provided a platform for victims of apartheid to share their stories and for perpetrators to seek amnesty in exchange for confession. Nelson's work on behalf of social justice and human rights did not end with his presidency. He continued to be a vocal advocate for these causes both in South Africa and around the world. He founded the Nelson Mandela Foundation, which promotes the principles of democracy, equality, and freedom. Nelson's impact on the world was not limited to South Africa. His leadership and advocacy inspired people around the world to fight for justice and equality. He was a champion for human rights and was known for his passionate speeches and his unwavering commitment to his principles. Nelson received numerous awards and honors for his work, including the Nobel Peace Prize, the U.S. Presidential Medal of Freedom, and the Order of Canada. He is remembered as a hero and an inspiration, and his legacy continues to inspire people around the world to fight for social justice and human rights. Chapter 5: Lessons learned from Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela's life and legacy offer many lessons for us all. His unwavering commitment to social justice and human rights, his courage in the face of adversity, and his dedication to reconciliation offer powerful examples for us to follow. One of the most important lessons we can learn from Nelson is the power of forgiveness. Despite spending 27 years in prison and enduring countless injustices, Nelson believed that forgiveness was essential for healing and reconciliation. He worked to build bridges between different racial groups in South Africa and to promote understanding and forgiveness. Another lesson we can learn from Nelson is the importance of persistence. He was committed to his principles and worked tirelessly to achieve his goals, even in the face of great adversity. His persistence and determination inspired a generation of activists and advocates and continue to inspire people around the world today. Nelson also believed in the power of dialogue and engagement. He recognized that change cannot be achieved through violence or conflict, but through peaceful dialogue and engagement with those who hold different views. He believed in the importance of listening to others, even those with whom he disagreed, and finding common ground. Finally, Nelson's life and legacy offer a powerful reminder of the importance of standing up for what is right, even in the face of opposition. He was not afraid to speak out against injustice and to challenge the status quo. He believed that everyone has a responsibility to promote social justice and human rights and to work towards a better world for all. Chapter 6: Nelson Mandela's Leadership. Nelson Mandela was a remarkable leader who inspired people around the world with his vision, courage, and commitment to social justice and human rights. He was a role model for many, and his leadership style continues to influence leaders today. One of the key elements of Nelson's leadership style was his ability to lead by example. He was not afraid to take risks and to challenge the status quo, and he led by example, demonstrating the courage and determination required to achieve great things. Nelson was also an excellent communicator. He was known for his passionate speeches and his ability to connect with people from all walks of life. He understood the importance of listening to others and engaging in dialogue to find common ground. Another important aspect of Nelson's leadership was his ability to inspire and motivate others. He believed in the potential of every individual and worked to create a sense of shared purpose and direction. He empowered those around him to take ownership of their own futures and to work towards a common goal. Nelson was also a master at building coalitions and bringing together diverse groups to work towards a common cause. He recognized that achieving great things required the collective effort of many, and he worked tirelessly to bring people together and create a shared vision for the future. Finally, Nelson's leadership was characterized by his unwavering commitment to his principles. He believed in the importance of social justice and human rights and worked tirelessly to achieve his goals, even in the face of great adversity. Nelson Mandela's leadership style was also characterized by his ability to remain calm and focus in times of crisis. He understood that leadership required a steady hand and a cool head, and he was known for his ability to stay composed in the face of adversity. Nelson also recognized the importance of teamwork and collaboration. He believed that everyone had a role to play in achieving great things and worked to create an environment where everyone felt valued and supported. Another important aspect of Nelson's leadership was his commitment to fairness and justice. He recognized that achieving social justice and human rights required the fair and equal treatment of all individuals, and he worked tirelessly to promote these values. Nelson's leadership was also marked by his humility and his willingness to listen to others. He recognized that leadership required the ability to learn from others and to acknowledge one's own limitations. Finally, Nelson's leadership was characterized by his ability to adapt to changing circumstances. He recognized that leadership required the ability to be flexible and to adapt to changing circumstances, and he was always willing to adjust his approach when necessary. Nelson Mandela's leadership style offers many valuable lessons for leaders today. His commitment to social justice and human rights, his ability to lead by example, and his emphasis on teamwork and collaboration continue to inspire leaders around the world. Chapter 7. Remembering Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela passed away on December 5, 2013, at the age of 95. His death was a great loss to South Africa and to the world, but his legacy continues to inspire people around the world to fight for social justice and human rights. Nelson's funeral was attended by world leaders and dignitaries from around the world who paid tribute to his life and legacy. His funeral was a fitting tribute to a man who dedicated his life to promoting equality, justice, and freedom for all. Nelson's life and legacy continue to be celebrated around the world. In South Africa, his legacy is commemorated every year on Mandela Day, which falls on July 18, his birthday. Mandela Day is a day of service and volunteerism, where people around the world are encouraged to give back to their communities and to promote social justice and human rights. Nelson's legacy also continues to inspire leaders and activists around the world. His unwavering commitment to his principles, his courage in the face of adversity, and his dedication to social justice and human rights offer powerful examples for us all to follow. Nelson's life and legacy serve as a reminder of the power of one person to make a difference. He was a hero and an inspiration, and his legacy continues to inspire us all to work towards a better world for all.